Hello everyone. What is the secret behind the Diep's pain? We'll see you all. James accept the truth. After the doctor announced that Tu Diep showed signs of pregnancy, James was very happy but also full of worries. He immediately arranged for her to go to a big hospital to check again because he wanted to make sure that she and the baby were healthy. But no one expected that. The retest results revealed a surprising truth. At the hospital, the doctor asked Tu Diep to have a series of tests to confirm her condition. James sat waiting outside, his heart filled with excitement. Finally, the doctor came out with a serious face. "Is she pregnant, doctor?" James asked hurriedly. The doctor looked at him for a moment and then sighed. "I'm sorry, but Tu Diep is not pregnant." James is stunned. "No way. She is nauseous, dizzy, tired." The doctor nodded. "That's why we do more testing. Her symptoms are very similar to those of a pregnant woman, but it is actually due to another health problem." James's heart clenched. What was worrying about her? The doctor hesitated for a moment and then said, "She has a small tumor in her uterus. It is not cancer but can cause hormonal disorders, leading to pregnancy-like symptoms." James felt like he had just been punched in the chest by that AI. Is it dangerous? Not yet, but if not treated promptly, may affect the ability to have children later. James clenched his fist. "I can't believe things have turned out this way." When hearing the news, Tu Diep was completely stunned. "I'm not pregnant." "Why?" did the doctor shake his head. She looked at James with red eyes. "So, we don't have kids?" James hugged her. "It's okay, you're more important. We will all heal." But Tu Diep was worried. "If I can't have children, will you regret choosing me?" James held her tight, his voice firm. "Never say that I love you. Not because you can have children or not. We will get through this together." Tu Diep burst into tears in his arms. Tu Diep's tumor treatment is not simple. James sought out the best doctors to treat her. But at the same time, he also faced pressure from his family. His mother, Mrs. Lam, was extremely angry when she found out. "If it can't have children, what are you going to do? Give up all this fortune to live with it?" James looked at his mother with a cold voice. "If you still think that way, I don't need this inheritance." He turned away, leaving Mrs. Lam in anger. "Even though I know there are still many difficulties ahead, but James decided I will protect the leaf at all costs." After knowing his health condition, Tu Diep worries a lot. She not only worries for herself, but also afraid that he would become a burden to James. But James didn't think so. He immediately arranged for her treatment at the best hospital in the country. Tu Diep: "James, I don't want to be treated in a big hospital like this. Very expensive." James: "Money is not important. The important thing is that you are healthy." Looked into James's determined eyes. Tu Diep said no more. She knew he was really worried about her. While James used all his energy to take care of Tu Diep, James' father came to her. James' father: "Then you should stay away from James." Tu Diep is stunned. Why? If her father James is cold, she cannot have children. A woman who cannot bear children is not worthy. "Stay by my son's side." Tu Diep felt like a knife was stabbed in the heart. But she tried to keep calm. "Tu Diep, I believe that love is not just based on having children or not, father." James laughed scornfully, ignoring her naivety. The James family needs a daughter-in-law. Can give birth to an heir. Tu Diep clenched her hand. She didn't want to leave James, but also do not want him to be pressured by family. After that meeting, she began to think a lot. While James was busy worrying about Tu Diep, CEO Min also heard about her condition. Min went to the hospital to visit her. Min, Tu Diep, I heard you are not well. Do you need anything? Tu Diep forced a smile and said, Thank you, Min. I'm fine, but Min looked at her with deep eyes. Min, if one day James is no longer by your side, how will you be? Tu Diep is surprised. What do you mean? Min looked at her for a long time and then said, If James leaves because of family pressure, I will still be here. Tu Diep was stunned. She didn't expect Min to say these words. James accidentally heard the conversation between Min and Tu Diep. A feeling of discomfort arose in his heart. James, about Tu Diep, do you doubt my feelings? Tu Diep shook his head immediately. He said no. But I'm afraid you will have to give up too much for me. James held her shoulders with a determined gaze. You don't care about family pressure. Just believe in our love. Tu Diep was touched, but she still had many thoughts in her heart. Should she continue to be with James? Or choose leave? So, he doesn't have to endure pressure from his family. Is Min really a man? Can give her another way? Where will their love story go? After long days of thinking, Tu Diep feels the pressure from James' family is increasing. James' father kept pressuring her to leave. James was always racing between work and taking care of her. One evening, when James returned from an important study session, he saw Tu Diep packing her things. James, what are you doing? Tu Diep bowed his head and his voice trembled. I think it's time for me to go. James was stunned and he walked over and took her hand. James, what are you talking about? Why are you leaving? Tears of Tu Diep flow out. She tried to contain her emotions. Tu Diep, because your family does not accept me. I'm sick again. I don't want you to sacrifice everything for me. James squeezed her hand, his voice becoming stronger. James, I never considered you a burden. And do you know how I fought to keep you by my side? Tu Diep withdrew his hand and shook his head, plowing. James, I love you. But I can't be selfish. I don't want you to lose your family. Career for someone like you. James looked at her sadly. James, as long as you are here, I will never give up on you. But Tu Diep was still determined to leave. She left the house that they both had happily left behind. James stood there in despair. After Tu Diep left, James was almost disoriented. He got to work, but in my heart, I always miss her image. Meanwhile, men once again sought out Tu Diep. Bright, I told you. If James can't protect you, I'm still here. Tu Diep is silent. She knows men has feelings for her. But her heart still belongs to James. Men sighed deep. Can you think more carefully if James really loves her? He didn't let her go that easily. These words made the purple leaves tremble. She began to wonder if James really needed her. After days of suffering, James decided to take action. He went straight to his father's house. James, I want to talk to you. Father James is cold and indifferent about the matter of Tu Diep. Don't say anything else, Mom won't accept it. James smiled faintly. If Mom doesn't accept her, so I will not accept what Mom wants. Father James was stunned. James, I love her. Whether she can have children or not is not important. If you still force me, I will leave this family. James' father is angry, then son is crazy. Give up all the property for a girl. James nodded firmly, so without her, I don't need anything. James was silent. This is the first time he saw his son was so determined. After breaking up with his family, James immediately went to find Tu Diep. He knew she was in a remote countryside, away from everything. When I found her, Tu Diep was sitting by the river with a distant gaze. James walked over and sat down gently beside her. James, I told you I won't let you leave me. Tu Diep turned back with tears in her eyes. But what about your family? They will not accept me. That smile. I chose you. I will take care of the rest myself. Tu Diep burst into tears and hugged the game. After many storms, they came back together. Although James was resolute with his family, but the storm is not over yet. Will Father James really let go? Will men easily give up his feelings? And can their love overcome all challenges to reach true happiness? James's story to deepen men. Not just a romantic relationship, but also the struggle between love, honor, responsibility, and choice. James, a man of determination, willing to give up family, the power to protect your love. But the road ahead is full of thorns. When faced with financial difficulties, family objection, and fair competition from men. Tu Diep, a simple country girl, but again caught in the whirlwind of two powerful men. She loves James, but is love strong enough to overcome the challenges, especially when man is also sincere and willing to give her a more stable life. Bright, a businessman who gave up everything to live a simple life, but again ready to return to business for a girl. He does not use tricks, but still persistently pursuing his love. Set a fair challenge for all THRE people. At the end of the story, Tu Diep is forced to choose. If she chooses James, meaning she accepts a difficult future, but full of love and protection from him. If she chooses men, she will have a safer life. But is her heart really happy? So in the end, will Tu Diep's love stand the test of time? James can protect her to the end? Or will fate take them in different directions? Please leave a message about this video.